Whoa. Okay, we good. I know y'all see this right here on the screen though. I know y'all see this. Back with another little Larry Bird video. I get last little Larry Bird video for a little minute. How good was Larry Bird actually? That boy Larry Bird was Steph Curry before Steph Curry. Like, that man was really like dominating the league before Michael Jordan came. Really, like that how it was. I ain't finna keep doing all that talking though. Head hurting. Just got my hair done. But yeah, before we get into the video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comment what I should react to next time. And check out my Instagram. It'll be popping up somewhere on the video. Also check out my gaming YouTube channel. They'll both will be in the description below. So make sure you guys check those out. Hey, we finna quit doing all that talking. Go ahead and get to the little video. I'm gonna probably
Larry Bird was one of the best players to ever touch a basketball.
Hold up, I'm turning it down a little bit. I'm probably try to record another video though. Might not. My head still hurting. We gonna see though.
And together with Magic Johnson, the biggest NBA star of the 80s.
Magic Johnson.
What made him so successful considering he was quite unathletic? And how would he fare in today's NBA? Did he win just because his teams were loaded? And where does he stand among the best shooters of all time? Watch the rest of the video to find out. A hick from French.
I gotta realize, like, that man was shooting threes when they were like just being invented. Like the 3-point line was just being invented, and that man already sparking three. Like,
French Lick. Bird was born into a poor family in French Lick, Indiana, a town of 2,000 inhabitants. Larry grew up a shy, introverted kid who didn't talk much, and he did most of his talking on the basketball.
From the valley.
He grew up to 6'9"
From
and
the
played
valley.
small forward. But with his understanding of basketball, he could play whatever position he wanted. Larry finished his high school career as the best scorer in school's history, and he could choose where he wanted to go to college. He started playing for Bobby Knight at Indiana University, but didn't like the spotlight and being around so many people. He then settled at Indiana State University, where the pressure was much less than with the Hoosiers. Larry averaged 30.3 points, 13.3 rebounds, and 4.6 assists.
So he wanted less pressure, but still dropped these stats in college. Wow, I do understand. He probably, yeah, like they said, spotlight was all on him. So he probably wouldn't have dropped these numbers if he was on the other team, because it felt like he had to do it. With this team, he was more laid back, I guess. But these ain't no laid back numbers. 30, 13, and 4. Man averaged a double-double in college. Over 30
the Sycamores
points.
were invincible in Bird's senior year and became the #1 team in the country with a 33-win streak. Their only loss came in the 1979 NCAA Finals, where they played against Michigan State, led by senior guard Urban Johnson. Despite 19 points from Bird, Magic and his teammates celebrated the title in what was the most watched college basketball game in history at the time. Bird was named the Collegiate Player of the Year, leaving Indiana State as the 5th-ranked NCAA scorer of all time. He was already drafted, as the Boston Celtics selected him in the NBA draft in 1978, hoping that Bird, who qualified for the NBA as a junior, would skip
See,
his
they
senior
ain't even
year.
have a
He opted to
three-point
stay
line
in
right
Indiana.
there.
And when he finally arrived in Boston,
didn't have a
the Celtics
three-point
looked
line.
nothing like their championship selves, with consecutive losing seasons. Bird then single-handedly caused
See,
the
they got a
biggest
three-point
turnaround
line.
ever seen in the NBA at the time. Boston improved their record from the season before by 32 wins and finished with 61 wins and 21 losses. Although his arch-rival Magic Johnson had an impressive season and won the title with the Lakers, Bird was named the Rookie of the Year with the average of 21.3 points, 10.4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. He also made the All-Star team, 10.4 rebounds, and 4.5 assists.
As a rookie, a rookie dropping these numbers is crazy.
He also made the All-Star team and first-team All-NBA.
I mean, of course he's gonna make the All-Star team. A rookie dropping 21 and 10.
Voting, and proved he could transform a mediocre team
Kevin
into a
McHale.
great one, all by himself. A new green dynasty. After Bird's rookie year, the Celtics had a busy offseason. Legendary Red Auerbach worked his magic and brought 2 new faces to Boston that would form one of the biggest dynasties in NBA history. Auerbach robbed Golden State by sending them the 1st and 13th pick in the 1980 draft. in exchange for center Robert Parrish and the third
Robert
pick,
Perry.
which
Yeah, I
became
know
Kevin
Robert.
McHale. Along with the newly formed Big Three, the Celtics also had an all-star point guard, Nate Tiny Archibald, young and athletic forward Cedric Maxwell,
I heard
and
Nate
a few
Archibald.
well-integrated role players that made the team complete. The head of the snake was, of course, Larry Bird, who was second in MVP voting, en route to a league-leading 62-20 record. The Celtics avenged the loss to the Sixers from the previous year, and after a tough 7-game series in the Eastern Finals, they were in the NBA Finals once again. There they would be met by the Houston Rockets, led by prime Moses Malone, who was arguably the best center in the league at the time. Malone averaged 23 and 16 in the series, but the Celtics were too good of a team and would win the title with 4 games to 2. Bird averaged.
So this guy could have 20 points, but that's only
Bro,
if they're big
is that
men.
Patrick Beverly, bro?
Playoff game plan.
Just play pick 6,
Man,
bro.
get this man off my screen,
Averaged
bro.
15 points, 15
this
rebounds,
man off
and
my
7
screen,
assists
bro.
for the series. But the finals
Patrick
MVP
Beverly.
went to Cedric Maxwell, who led the Celtics in scoring with 18 points per game. And when everybody already saw the new Green Dynasty, 2 bad years ensued, despite Bird's all-around excellence and McHale's improvement. They once again were the #1 seed in the East. Bird was the All-Star Game MVP, but Philadelphia retaliated for a close defeat in the Eastern Finals. And this time, they won in 7 games. The year after, the Celtics regressed even more, finishing as a 3rd seed and getting swept in the 2nd round by the Milwaukee Bucks. After that, Coach Bill Fitch resigned and was replaced by Casey Jones, who won 8 titles in the Bill Russell era as a player. The change bore fruit. The team was refreshed with the young shooter Danny Ainge.
Boy,
and
look
veteran
like-
point guard.
boy.
The change bore fruit.
This boy look like Austin. But I thought I just exited out the video. But this boy look like Austin Reeves. But you can't tell me the man don't look like Austin Reeves now. Come on. I swear this boy look like Austin Reeves. The man look like Austin Reeves, man.
The team was refreshed.
going on?
The young shooter Danny Ainge and veteran point guard
Austin
Dennis
Reeves
Johnson
Sr.
played the best basketball in
With
the
the
NBA,
Celtics. Didn't
finishing
know
with
that.
a 62-20 record. After 3 years of coming in second, Larry Bird finally won the regular season MVP with 24.2 points, 10.1 rebounds, and 6.6 assists on average. The Celtics steamrolled to the finals, where a known foe awaited. It was, of course, Magic and the Lakers. The title was decided in Game 7,
I think
where
Bird
Larry
won
Bird
this
led the
one, right?
Celtics to their 15th NBA title. Bird was named the Finals MVP,
Yeah.
and he finally had his revenge over Magic,
Big
who defeated
Kareem.
him in the NCAA Finals of 1979. The following season, the Celtics were even better in the regular season. Bird repeated as MVP, and McHale repeated as the 6th man of the year. They got to the finals again, with the same opponent. After the Celtics won Game 1, 148-114, in a game that was dubbed the Memorial Day
James
Massacre,
Harden?
it seemed like the Celtics were going to dominate the Lakers and repeat as champions. However, the Lakers had other plans, and especially Kareem was determined to defeat the Celtics. Kareem averaged 25.7 points, 9 rebounds, and 5.2 assists in 6 games, on 60% shooting. And the Lakers have finally won the NBA Finals against the Celtics for the first time in 9 tries. 1986, the greatest Celtics team ever.
These people can't be human, bro. These people can't be human. What's going on?
And the pinnacle of Bird's career. After the finals loss, Auerbach made another clever move. He traded Cedric Maxwell to the Clippers for Bill Walton, once one of the most talented centers in the league, who accepted the role of a 6th man on the Celtics, while Kevin McHale moved to the starting lineup. The Celtics won 50 out of 51 home games that year, which is a record that still stands and likely will never be broken. Larry Bird experienced
Wait,
the absolute
what?
lineup. The Celtics won 50 out of 51 home games that year, which is a record that still stands and likely will never be broken.
won
Larry
50
Bird
out of
experienced
51
the
home
absolute
games.
peak of his game and basketball brilliance in 85-86. He deservedly won another MVP and became the only player other than Wilt and Bill Russell to win the award in 3 straight seasons. The 85-86 season birthed several games that proved the endless basketball genius of Larry Bird, and most notable is the left-handed game. Before the game against Portland, Bird surprised his teammates and journalists by saying that he would shoot the whole game with his left hand because he wanted to motivate himself for a relatively meaningless regular season game. How much did he score? Just 47 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists with a game-winning
Are we serious? That man played better with his left hand than he do with his.
Winning shot and 22 points scored with his left hand out of sheer boredom and fun. And those are the reasons
man
why
played
he's
better
called
with
Larry
his-
Legend. Apart from that, he also scored a career-high 60 points on the Atlanta Hawks earlier in the season. Almost everything he put up toward the basket went in, and he got into such a zone that the Hawks bench jumped off their chairs and cheered, after which they received hefty penalties from the Hawks.
Oh, imagine your own
Almost everything
team
he put up
jumping
toward
off
the
the
basket
chucker you
went
got
in.
scored
He got
on.
into such a zone that the Hawks bench jumped off
Oh.
their chairs and cheered, after which they received
Lord,
hefty
that man was
penalties
actually
from the
Steph
Hawks
Curry,
coach,
bruh.
Mike Fratello. Throughout the game,
Nah,
the
Steph Curry
commentator
was him. That's what it is. I know y'all gonna try to correct me in the comment. Steph Curry was him. My bad. Steph Curry was Larry Bird. Not Larry Bird was Steph Curry. I know y'all gonna try to
noted that what
correct me.
he was watching was the biggest shooting exhibition in
Oh, this
basketball
literally what.
history. And at the
This literally
time,
what
it
Steph Curry be doing. I see where he got it from. I see where
truly
he got it
was.
from now.
The Celtics won 67 games in the regular season and lost just one game in the playoffs on their way to the finals. There, they would be greeted by the Twin Towers of Houston, Ralph Sampson, and Hakeem
Hakeem
Olajuwon,
Olajuwon.
who defeated the Lakers in the West Finals. But nobody could touch the Celtics that season, who were one of the most talented teams ever assembled. Bird was 2 rebounds and 3 assists shy of averaging a triple-double in the finals, and he deservedly won his second Finals MVP. Final years, injuries, and the Dream Team. In 1987, the Celtics had a very difficult season. Their number 2 pick, Len Bias, tragically passed away after the draft, and they suffered many injuries during the season and the playoffs. But Larry Bird was too good, and they still advanced to the finals after 2 7-game series against the Bucks and the Bad Boy Pistons, where Bird made one of the most legendary plays and stole the inbounds pass from Isaiah Thomas that won a crucial Game 5 for the Celtics. And in the finals again, it was the Lakers for the 3rd time in 4 years. Because LA was much more rested coming to the finals, the Celtics did not have enough gas in the tank to stop the fast-paced showtime. Bird delivered another 24, 10, and 5 for the series, but it wasn't good enough, and Magic got the best of him once again. Next year, Bird had maybe one of the best statistical years of his career. He averaged 30 points on 50, 40, and 90 shooting, a feat he achieved the previous year as well, proving that he's the best shooter who ever played at the time. The Celtics reached the conference finals, but it would be their last hurrah as the Pistons finally got over the hump and managed to beat them. In the offseason, Bird sustained a severe back injury from chopping wood back home in Indiana. He was one of the best basketball players in the world who
chopping
had
wood.
millions of dollars, but he was still the hick from French Lick, who chopped his own wood when he needed to, and I respect him even more for that. The back injury and surgery on both Achilles tendons caused him to miss almost the entire 88-89
Let me
season.
get-
However,
yeah,
even
them pretty much
debilitated,
took him out.
Bird was better than most players in the league, and despite needing to stretch for more than 2 hours to be able to run, he was still very productive. He was named an All-Star each of the last 3 seasons.
I mean, even though he still played, I'm guessing that probably took him out because, like I said, even though he was still able to play, that's gonna have a long-term effect on his career. So I'm guessing that's what took him out. That back injury.
with some memorable performances, like
had
a
to
game in the
retire not too long
1991
after that.
playoffs where he suffered a concussion, but then pulled a Willis Reed and came back to the game, scored 17 points in the second half, and won the series for the Celtics. Unfortunately, the toll on his body was getting too much to bear,
Yeah.
and he ended his career in 1992, when he finally became teammates with his good friend Magic Johnson on the Dream Team. Bird flew off into the sunset with the gold in Barcelona, retiring as the best small forward and the best shooter to ever play. Legacy. Trash-talking god. Top 10 player ever. One of the most famous Larry Bird
They
trash-talking
said, y'all said he was a big trash talker. Like, I mean, but he could back up his trash talk. That's what it is. Some people be trash talking, you can't back it up, but he could.
is from the
Don't lie.
1986 three-point shooting contest when the legend walked into the locker room and asked all the other participants who's coming in second after him. Of course, he went on and swished near every three-pointer and won, all without taking his jacket off. Bird would win the three-point shooting competition the next 2 years as well, and before Reggie Miller came along, there was no argument who's the best shooter ever. On the 26th of December 1990, Indiana's Chuck the Rifleman Person said he's going bird hunting before the Celtics game. Bird replied that he'd got a Christmas present for him, and while Chuck was on the bench, Bird got the ball in the corner just in front of the Pacers bench. He hit the jump shot, turned to Chuck, It said Merry Effing Christmas. And that's who Larry Bird was, and how he talked. He was the ultimate competitor, and he had all the skills in the world to back it up. He'd tell players where he would get the ball, what he was going to do, and then do it. There was nothing they could do to stop him. He accused the opposing team of putting a white guy to guard him because he felt that was disrespectful. And if you watch Space Jam, you know that Larry isn't white. He's clear. Bird would drink half the bar under the table. Sometimes he'd fight people in the bar as well, and then go to the game the next day and dominate, as if nothing happened. Bird was a unique player, and there was nobody like him. At first glance, his moves look almost clumsy, far from physically dominant or athletic. He rarely dunked. His vertical was average at best, and he never played exceptionally fast. From the neck down, in basketball terms, he was nothing special.
I ain't gonna lie. Why does it, like, his build just remind me of Jokic for some reason? His build, like, he don't look like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying he not strong or anything, but he don't look like he's, like, that strong for real. He look like Jokic a little bit. He look like he just, I don't know how to explain it. His build, though, it reminds me of Jokic so much. Not like his playing style, nah. Not the playing style, but like his build. It kind of reminded me of Jokic for some reason.
From the neck up until the end of his fingertips, he was pure genius. There's no doubt that he would be a great player in today's era, where we can see players like Doncic and Jokic dominate the game without...
Bro, I just, in Luka too. It's like they play in slow motion for some reason. I don't know if he played in slow motion, but his build remind me of them for some, I don't know.
Great physical talent. Bird was one of the top 10 players who ever played, and one of the best pure shooters ever. He was the best player in the NBA for almost an entire decade, despite the brilliance from Magic and the athleticism of Michael Jordan. And like Magic Johnson said, there will never be another Larry Bird.
Yeah, it won't. It won't be another person exactly like Larry Bird. Like, they got a point. They got a point. But I'm finna go ahead and get ready to end this video right there. I ain't got too much to say after that. Let the video talk for itself. Larry Bird. Never be another Larry Bird for real. Like, doing all that before Reggie Miller, before Steph Curry, before Damian Lillard. Like, all that. And the three-pointer was just being invented too. So how you had enough time to practice all these threes? Only he was just shooting like that before the three-pointer. He had to be. I ain't gonna lie. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next time. Make sure you guys turn on the post notifications. And check out my Instagram. Be popping up on the screen. Also my game YouTube channel. They'll both be in the description below. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next video. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Better stay tuned, because it will be a problem if you're not.